Noisy Pixel.
CrossCode's original launch on PC had quite a bit of hype surrounding it, but I didn't pay too much attention to it due to mediocre games boasting a 16-bit art style in the past. Many times, these games tend to feel overly inspired by games such as Final Fantasy, with generic and derivative plots. However, I'm happy to say that I was very wrong in my thought process, because CrossCode provided me with an RPG experience that I won't soon forget. CrossCode takes place in the distant future. Virtual reality MMOs have taken the world by storm, with Crossworlds being the most popular. Unlike most players, Leia wakes up in Crossworlds with no memory and without the ability to speak. With the help of a few newfound friends, Leia begins a journey through Crossworlds in hope of regaining her memory and maybe stopping a few bad guys along the way. CrossCode's premise might seem like something familiar, but the narrative takes a few twists that make it unique. Sure, we've seen the stuck in a virtual world trope time and time again, but CrossCode takes this concept and runs with it. Each cutscene had me on the edge of my seat, wondering what would happen next. Even though Leia is mostly mute, I found myself incredibly attached to her and was genuinely interested in her story. CrossCode's story is not only full of dramatic moments, there is also some humor injected into its plot. The world of Crossworlds is full of pop culture references and overly satirical characters, which makes the entire game a lot of fun to explore. Like many RPGs, side quests can be found throughout the adventure. While most of these side quests are simple fetch quests or kill X amount of enemy Y, they are a generally enjoyable way to pad out the game's runtime. I would personally recommend at least checking out 1 or 2 side quests per area, as they help make sure Leia isn't at a level disadvantage later on in the game. The world of CrossCode feels reminiscent of one you'd find in a real MMO. It's separated into multiple areas, each with a different environmental theme. Desert, snowy mountain, grassy plain, etc. These areas are all beautifully designed, with loads of secrets hidden throughout for those brave enough to explore off the beaten path. Players' time with CrossCode will be spent between 2 activities: fighting enemies and solving puzzles. Most of the time, outside of dungeons, is spent fighting enemies to level up and platforming to reach new areas. Combat is incredibly fast-paced, but never feels button-mashy. Furthermore, most enemies have some sort of gimmick that requires a strategy to take down. As you progress, Leia unlocks several upgrades and special moves that keep combat feeling fresh until the credits roll. Once players make it inside the game's multiple dungeons, however, things become much more methodical. CrossCode's puzzles range from simple to intricate and complex, proving time and time again to be more of a challenge than I would have expected. Overcoming these puzzles always felt satisfying and had me looking forward to the next. Now, no RPG would be complete without a plethora of intimidating bosses, and CrossCode has these in droves. Each boss Leia encounters is a ton of fun to fight, usually being built around a new gameplay mechanic that you've just spent an entire dungeon learning. Using your newfound skills to take down giant enemy bosses never ceased putting a smile on my face. CrossCode also features a skill tree that lets players customize their playstyle. If you want to put all of your skill points into ranged attacks, you can. Or if you want to focus on firing at enemies from a distance and improving your character's focus and defenses, you can. Similarly, players can equip a large variety of items that affect their stats in unique ways, further allowing for playstyle customization. Perhaps one of the only things holding CrossCode back is its ball throwing mechanic. While it works well for the majority of the game, it is pretty apparent that this was designed for PC. Many puzzles and fights require a level of precision that is difficult to achieve on a controller. Most of these issues would be null and void playing with a keyboard and mouse, but this isn't an option on consoles. Still, the developers did an excellent job of mapping the controls to a controller, but they just feel ever so slightly off. CrossCode really impressed me. The developers didn't overly lean on the retro-inspired graphics, but instead created an exceptionally unique and incredibly fun RPG experience. Thankfully, the console release doesn't hold it back, even with a few control issues. I highly recommend this as a must-play action RPG, and now that it's on consoles, we have no excuses on why we aren't playing it. Noisy Pixel is giving CrossCode a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to read the full review at noisypixel.net. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more.